It is time for the penultimate week of football, which is just a fancy way of saying second to the last. Let's get right into it. Welcome back, everybody. We are down to the last 2 Sundays of football over the next 3 weeks, and we had a not as exciting as the wild card weekend, but we had a divisional round bookended by 2 overtime games with 2 games in the middle that were kind of just what we expected, not the greatest. We'll catch everybody up really quick as of recording. The Bills are gone, so is their coach. Sean McDermott has been released this morning. You could see the heartbreak on Josh's face. And obviously they'll be talking about the interception and the PI calls till the end of the time where the Bills robbed again. That's kind of a rough one, and of course it feels like both teams lost because the news coming out an hour after the game was Bo Nix broke his ankle, done for the season. We'll talk about it because in comes Jarrett Stidheim, which I could put any picture of him on the screen. Nobody would know the difference of who he is.
Right.
Hasn't thrown a pass in the NFL in over 2 years. He's getting the start. And 49ers, as we expected, we hoped something different would happen. Crazy thing about that, 18 seconds into the game, Seattle could have stopped scoring. 7 points was all they needed to win. But they piled on 34 more. And, but props to the 49ers. That was like a MASH unit being held together with glue and tape.
Right.
What do you do when you lose that much stuff? You can't do much.
Yep.
You called it last week. C.J. Stroud couldn't play like he did against the Steelers. He played like he did against the Steelers and worse. The game was sloppy. The weather didn't help. But like we said, you can't make those mistakes against the Patriots.
Right.
Who now, because of the current situation, look bound for the Super Bowl. And of course, you almost had a 4-0 week. I think we should count it. Now, I know we can't count it. But that's summed up this entire season because with 18 seconds to go, we missed the pick because the quarterback scrambling for his life runs backward 15 yards, turns around, throws off his back foot, launches a Hail Mary into the end zone with the most wide open person. That ball was in the air for like 30 seconds.
Right.
2 defenders just not even seeing it. That is the easiest Hail Mary ever. Didn't matter. Rams almost still pulled it through with a touchdown. They got the field goal. They go on to face Seattle. So those are the 2 matchups. Let's get right into it. Guys, thanks for watching. We're down to the last couple episodes, so if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. We'd like to take a little bit of a break after the season and come back during the summer with some new stuff, so we look forward to doing that. So let's start off with both games being on Sunday, and that will be the New England Patriots at the Denver Broncos. The lines are a little bit moving, obviously, because of the changes. -5 seems to be where it's at right now in favor of the Patriots. This is, of course, in Denver, though. They're going to have to rely on the defense like they did the Peyton Manning year. They won in Super Bowl 50. But we know the Patriots are going to win, more or less. Where do you feel about the -5?
Do we know the Patriots are going to win? I mean,
I guess we don't.
I mean, there was a guy named Nick Foles that made magic happen, right? And he basically had that couple-game run in the playoffs, and then he was never the same again. And he
actually tweeted or X'd about that. Did you see that? He actually said a thing like, congratulations to the Broncos. Don't worry, the Patriots aren't that good against backup quarterbacks.
Wow.
Something like that.
I mean, it got him paid. He had that little, amazing run, and it got him paid, and he was crap for every other team he played for. Yeah. So good for him. He got a Super Bowl, and it's all good. Drake May, he's going to be obviously the standard X factor. The Patriots continue to catch breaks, you could say, right? Most people have said, okay, the Patriots have only beat 2 teams with winning records, right? And then now going into the playoffs, and then they went up against, a C.J. Stroud that was pretty terrible, right? But then now they get the benefit of playing a #1 seed without their quarterback, right? So it's not even the true Denver Bronco team, really. Yeah. I mean, it's a big difference. So the breaks keep happening for the Patriots, which, hey, whatever they get, they can't control that, right? So, but now if they somehow lose to Denver, they're going to take some heat.
Yeah.
And like I said, Josh Allen and the Bills are killing themselves because now just think, if they would have got the W, they would have went ahead and went on to play against the Patriots, who they beat this last time. So
5 turnovers, and they still only lost by 3.
Yeah.
But 5 turnovers ain't going to do it for anybody.
Yep, just like for Bears fans, there's always next year, But All right, so here we go. Ramondre Stevenson. He has emerged. The guy, you start the season, and he was Mr. Fumbleitis guy. He fumbled the ball too much. Last year, same thing. He's a veteran running back that has been like the glue, especially in the playoffs, making big plays. He stepped up big in this last game. Trevion Henderson looks good as a dynamic rookie, but really it was the veteran Ramondre Stevenson who stepped up in this game. Keyshawn Boutte, now he's a guy that came up huge. Stephon Diggs had his...
Huge booty?
He had a huge booty of a game. So Stephon Diggs looked good, and he didn't do a whole ton, but he had a couple of key catches. But Boutte was the man that really kind of separated the game. So he's going to be a key factor against this defense of Denver, because really, if Denver has a chance at all, it's going to be through the defense and creating turnovers and field benefit situations. RJ Harvey, on the other side, he's the guy now that's going to have to really, he didn't do much this last week at all, and he's the one that's going to have to really knuckle down and help his quarterback. Okay, he's going to have to come up with some big, possibly pass catching, short catches, and yards after the catch situations, and he's going to have to run the ball well, because if they have to rely on Stidham passing 40 times or 30 times to win this game, they're in a world of hurt. So that's huge. So RJ Harvey's going to be a monster in that spot. Courtland Sutton was pretty much absent most of the game as well. And now he has a different quarterback. These receivers, whether it's him, Marvin Mims Jr. had a big game. He had a monster game. So for all the people who played the daily fantasy and DraftKings, he was a key factor in everyone's lineup to win big money. Mims is going to have to continue to come up big because they lost Brian to a concussion this last week, and I doubt he'll be ready to go this week. You have to kind of keep an eye on that. So Jarrett Stidham is the man of the hour, right? What's he going to do? Because we know the defense, what they bring to the table. We don't know what this quarterback is going to bring. He has very small sample size of starts, right? Like 5 games ballpark, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't see a path that Denver wins this game. Okay, I'm going to rule out Denver winning this game right away. Like Mike said, I do believe that that's not on the table. It's in Denver. Their defense is going to play hard. Short of Drake May going down injured or just blowing up the game, it's not happening. Will they cover the spread, though? Will this New England team cover 5 points? That's the question. And I believe they will. We're going to go with New England Patriots, -5. They're going to get it done. Okay, they should. Barring the last second, backdoor cover, which I don't think is going to be a problem, because I think that if New England plays the kind of football they've been playing with their great defense, Mike Vrabel has these guys prepped and ready game in and game out, I think this should be a double-digit victory. Take the Patriots to get back to the Super Bowl again. Oh, my gosh. They're going to do it, though. -5. Boom.
People ask, and it's not the Patriots I disliked so much. It's Tom Brady's Patriots. So it's okay. Hey, it's cool to go from where they were to this. That's a hell of a thing. And now, based on that logic, this is the perennial game to see who will play the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And that is going to be the LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. For all intents and purposes, spread looks like -2.5 Seahawks across the board, not surprisingly on that one.
So, fun fact, since 2002, 7 of the 8 teams that beat the Niners in the playoffs since 2002 have gone on to win the Super Bowl.
That's when the Niners beat the Packers 3 years ago. That's why they didn't go on to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Go Giants. So 7 out of 8 times, 7 out of 8 times when the Niners, a team that beat the Niners, they went and win the Super Bowl. The only one that failed, guess who it was?
Is it going to be Seattle?
Philadelphia Eagles. In 2022, the Eagles
of course.
beat the Niners and went on to lose to we won't even mention their name because it's a dirty word on this set. So that's one thing that supposedly the Seahawks have, going for them, right? They beat the 49ers. Now, on a negative front, breaking news this morning, Zach Charbonnet is officially going to be having surgery on his knee, and he is done for the year. So that's not good news. He's a huge 1-2 punch combo with him and Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker was huge last week. I mean, let's just be real. Sam Darnold didn't play particularly great. He had 1 touchdown, 124 yards passing. And that's pretty embarrassing considering it was up against a Niner defense that has zero pass rush all year. Like, literally, I could sit back and complete passes and not get touched. But, I mean, so that's a little bit troubling. You got to wonder, like, okay, how are they only getting 124-yard passing yards? JSN did nothing. Now, granted, they didn't need to because they opened up the game with a kick return for a touchdown. The defense was just smothering, and Brock Purdy never had a chance. No Kittle. Christian McCaffrey, I think he's just kind of lost a little bit, and I think that's just going to be a downhill thing from here on out. But he had a great career, but I think that's coming to an end pretty soon. So you look at it right now, Cooper Kupp was a surprise. The man, Cooper Kupp, now is going up against his old Rams team that he won a Super Bowl with, and he's the one that was the alpha that stepped up, not JSN against the Niners. He stepped up, had a bigger game, and looked really good.
5 targets, 5 catches. He pulled them all in.
Yeah, exactly. So Devontae Adams, here's the guy that ever since he kind of got banged up and missed a couple games a few weeks back, I don't know, he's not quite healthy, I believe, but he's someone that I think is going to be a huge key factor. 14 touchdowns on the year, and I think he's going to be a touchdown magnet in this game again, potentially. Puka Nacua was pretty quiet this last week, and he didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, it was terrible conditions, right? It was like this snowing, weird weather, windy, cold, just miserable. I mean, they had hot chocolate and chicken broth on the sidelines. Literally, they had a container that said hot chocolate, chicken broth.
Protein and sugars.
When do you ever think about that? It's like a kid's meal. So here we go. What's going to happen? Kobe Parkinson is going to be a key factor. Okay, I think he's going to be one of the key factors for the Rams at tight end. I think that they're going to try to blanket and take away Puka, which it's going to be tough to do. But I think a guy like Parkinson is going to be able to, get open, manipulate the field. He almost made a huge catch against the Bears in the end zone to win the game. So he's going to be a huge factor. But Kyren Williams is going to be huge too. They got to be able to run the ball because this defense is tough. So they got to keep this defense, the Seattle defense, off balance and, do a nice balance of running. If they can't run the ball, it's not going to open up the pass. So Kyren Williams has to find a way. He did well this last week to get some good yardage. Him and Blake Corum, they're also a good 1-2 punch. So bottom line here, it's very simple. This Seattle team, this is a rubber match. It was 1-1 in the regular season. Who's going to go to the Super Bowl? Drum roll. Take the Rams plus 2.5 to the bank. The Rams are going to get it done here. They're absolutely going to win this game. Matt Stafford and this offense and its defense has had its struggles the last 4 or 5 weeks, right? Especially the defense. It's not the defense it was earlier in the year. They're going to come up big this week. Sam Darnold, I think, is going to have that off week. Sam Darnold is going to be a Sam Darnold type play like he was last year in the playoffs. And frankly, I just don't see it. They're at home, Seattle, the 12th man, all that. But bottom line, the Seahawks team, I don't think it's close. I think the Rams win by potentially 7 to 10 points. But for sure, guess what? Plus 2.5 all day long, easy peasy. Rams plus 2.5, boom.
I think you said you look too, and like right now it's slightly in favor of Seattle, but the money's almost split between the two teams, and it's just going to be that's going to be a good. It should be a really good game. Of the two games, it's obviously the better.
Well, if you look at the first 2 games, I mean, one was overtime, 1-point loss, one was a 2-point win, I think. So it's going to be a good game, but in the end, I think the Rams pull away because their offense. Matt Stafford, who's most likely going to be the MVP this year, he's on a mission. I mean, the old bones Stafford is having a great career, and this is going to be the icing on the cake.
Maybe he retires and goes out on top after this if they get it.
And one more important thing to say, I woke up feeling great. Absolutely great this morning. The Chicago Bears lost, and all I have to say to you Bears fans, the Bears still suck.
You know what Schadenfreude syndrome is, or
no.
Where you take pleasure in somebody else's misery?
Hey,
I think all Packers fans must have a built-in case of that.
Because the Bears fans, Packers live in the Bears' head. I mean, they're literally chanting Green Bay sucks when Green Bay has nothing to do with anything, right? And they're obsessed. I mean, look at their own coach. I mean, he went on a 2-year-old tantrum swearing and like F the Packers, and it's like, who does that?
Bears have to learn to overcome is not having to come back in the fourth quarter to win games. That's not a sustainable recipe for success.
Yeah, you can't have 8 games you're trailing inside of 2 minutes, and they won 7.
All right, guys. Between now and the Super Bowl, perhaps we'll see you. We'll let you know. Make sure you like and subscribe. Click the bell icon to be notified so you don't miss out on a thing. Give them a big outro to keep them busy for 14 days.
We'll see you in a couple weeks on the Monday before the Super Bowl with our picks. Until then, take it to the bank. Boom.
God bless you, John Harbaugh.